Here, we're going to do more of the like tutorials of how to, be good at Overcooked. So I already did the full story mode, and I did Hungry Horde as the second one. The next one I'm gonna do is Carnival Chaos. Carnival Chaos is probably my next favorite after Hungry Horde, both in online and just regular play, I guess. Because it's definitely a little bit more challenging and not in like a annoying way. Um, it's just challenging in terms of like trying to stay on top of the orders and different combinations and things like that. So we're just gonna again go through kind of what's going on over here. It's actually one long road. Follow road. So, start at 1-1. Here we go. So, the thing with 1-1 in the circus level here is the second player, which starts over on the right-hand side, is the person who really needs to be paying attention to the orders. The whole thing about most of the Carnival levels is that it's very complicated in terms of the orders. So what you need to be paying attention to is what of these three items you need to be preparing. So I'm going to chop this one up here, and then while that's chopping, we'll chop this one over here. What will happen, of course, is that the first player, which is on the left-hand side, all they need to do is make burgers. It's really simple. You're just going to be making burgers the whole time. And the person on the right, like I said, has to be paying attention to these what's it called? These orders that are coming up over here. When a burger is done, take a bun, pick it up, drop it. Okay, you can even put it on one of these things if you really want to. But that's the way you pick up a burger. You take a bun, pick up the burger, put it on, and serve, right? But player one's going to be doing a lot of the chopping here. The harder thing here is going to actually be paying attention to the orders that are over there on the top and getting them in the right order. I'm just assuming that the next couple things will probably need cheese. The trick here, I guess, to pay attention to is that some things will need... Wow, I just totally missed that throw. Which can happen. What happens most of the time is that when you throw what's it called? The onion or anything you've done chopping over here, if you throw it, it should go right in most of the time. But sometimes it doesn't. Double up this chopping here. Okay. And the goal also here, of course, is to try to always have something cooking. There will definitely be a point in time where you're definitely, going to have stuff already ready to go. But see, like we have this one, boom. This is probably an onion of some sort. Yes, it is. So now the person who's doing the chopping over here on the left-hand side, if you only have two people, should also be washing these dishes, because you will have so many burgers and you won't have many of the stuff over here. So the person who's doing the chopping over here on the right-hand side, that's their job. There's nothing else going on for them. They have to just basically be chopping and paying attention to that. While the person over here can be chopping, washing the plates, potentially serving. It could be a person that, maybe you want them to, the person on the right to just serve. But yeah, you could also preload these guys over here if you want. I won't recommend it, only if you have, lots of these things here. Maybe it'll be helpful, but take that off. So yeah, that's the general gist. And this is also another stage where the timer doesn't start until you start the first dish. So you can, prep a whole bunch of stuff. You can cut a whole bunch of these things here and just have them ready to go and just toss them in when you need them. And that's what you can do. So this is a pretty easy stage, but it gets you in the mindset of how complex the orders are going to be, because they do get super complex by the final stages. They're probably just as complex as some of the stuff that you might see in like campfire cook-off stages, which are also very complex. So 1-2 is a really, really great stage to practice your double serving. Because all the orders are the same. They're all pizzas. And the amount of space that you have up on that top platform is just enough room, or probably a little bit more room than you need to actually do the double serving. So for this stage, one of the things you want to do, you could throw the dough from here, but you can't throw anything else because you'll just go right over the edge. See that? Same thing with this one, right over the edge. So the dough's the only thing you can really throw from there. The other two items you kind of have to bring over. This one. And again, the timer hasn't started yet, so you can go ahead and make tons and tons of pizzas if you really wanted to in story mode. Obviously, in what's it called? In online mode, it won't do this, but you know, at least in story mode, you can get a gist of what's going on here. So now, again, like I said, you can line yourself up to do the double serve here. Didn't really work. I'll wait for this to come back. There we go. Again, line yourself up so you can go ahead and all the way back. And then, again, the double serve is, excuse me, double serve is the same thing as throwing a plate. And I'll show you how to throw a plate on the bottom. But basically, you're going to hit dash and drop at the same time. Again, this is your drop button, right? Dash and drop at the same time, but then you're going to mash on the drop button. Doesn't really work. But this is how you throw a plate, right here. So you go take a plate, dash and drop together. That's how it throws the plate, right here. That's it. Just hitting. I'm not even hitting the directionals. I'm just hitting those buttons at the same time, and it'll throw the plate. Okay, that's how you throw a plate. So what you want to do is you want to dash and drop at the same time. That's to throw plates, but also mash on that drop button because it's also the pickup button. That's going to pick up the plate and then serve it again. That's kind of what you want to do right there. Yeah, see, like he's. That's the kind of thing you want to do. You don't want to like, yeah. The other thing I actually want to try that I haven't tried in a while is some of the what's it called? The perspective makes it so that you can actually pick things up on different heights. So is it possible to pick something up from here? I actually haven't tried. In some of the stages, like in Hangry Horde, you might have noticed that I was able to pick things up. So I wonder if I can throw it. This might be too high. Yeah. So they might have fixed it for this particular one, but in some of the other stages in like story mode and also in Hangry Horde, you might have seen you're able to go ahead and ruin the perspective. That stops you from grabbing stuff on different heights. This one clearly doesn't work. But again, make sure before you leave up here to grab dirty plates because it's going to be really annoying if you don't have them. And then you just make pizzas the whole time. And that's it. There's really nothing else going on there. I guess the thing we'll talk about pizzas, make sure you do the dough first because you could put all the ingredients on top of it. Because otherwise the ingredients will just take up room. So as you put ingredients on top of chopped dough, they'll just kind of stack on top of each other on the one spot of the counter and make it a lot easier for you to just have ingredients on top of each other. So 1-3 is actually pretty tricky to get down. The best strat that I can recommend is that you have one person stay on top and just go between both places, and one person on the bottom who handles all of the preparing of all the stuff. So you can notice in this one, the time has already started, so you really have to be on your thing here. You also want to try to throw those things directly into the cookers. Clearly for the chicken, I didn't do that first one. Okay. Now, before I do the actual serving here, I'm going to show you These barriers, which will stop you from actually moving in this area here, the only way you can go is going through up here. You can send this thing by throwing the tray. You want to throw the tray right through here, okay, just like this. And you can get it to the other side, so that person can go ahead and serve these things. All right. Let's see if I can double serve this. Nope. So that's what you want to do, and as stuff is being dirty over here, you can do the exact same thing. You throw it back down, just like that. So this person can go ahead and grab it and start washing. Okay, and that's the general gist for this one. Again, you're going to be paying attention to the orders. Everything that's a double order will always need cheese in here. There's actually in this stage, there are single order cheeses. Sorry. There's so many different kinds of combinations in here between, having onion or potato by themselves, something with cheese, single cheese, like all of those things are possible here. So you really can't tell unless you actually really look at that order what the side is going to be. But the good thing about this particular stage is that everything is chicken. So you will always be making chicken here. That's no big deal. You can always be making sure that you have a chicken burger ready to go. And that's easy. There will be harder ones, much harder ones later on that will combine between chicken or a burger, like a meat burger. There's ones that will also include drinks in them, you'll see shortly, that will really, really get very, very complex. So let's go to 1.4 here. 1.4, I play so much in online. It's really incredible how much I play this one. I don't know, it's just like something that just comes up all the time. And this one is kind of deceivingly difficult. They introduced the hot dog condiments here, which is that button in the middle. And we'll start with this guy over here. He's going to be chopping. And immediately you want to go ahead and throw these things into the pots if you can get some really good aim. Also move this thing out of the way because it's really going to annoy you, I promise. Also, you notice that the time hasn't started. That's cool. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Hit that button as well. When you have more people, you'll have a lot more of these buns cut. When you cut a bun, what you want to do is you don't want to bring it over here, just throw it. Just throw it over here. There's no reason for you to hold on to it on that side. It doesn't make any sense, because what you want to do is you want to take these buns and pick the cooked hot dogs up immediately off of them so that you can redo and make more hot dogs, okay? So the next thing you want to do is you want to, of course, serve. This is another place that you can potentially double serve. But again, remember that, double serving in this place is only if you don't have a thing up. There's double serve. If you don't have it, it'll mark it as a wrong order. So I have to pay attention to that. But in that particular case, I actually had 2 ketchup ones ready to go. So that was cool. So as the person's washing dishes, you can go ahead and make this done here. Sometimes what will happen is you'll have enough people to hit the button while you're trying to serve, which is really good, but sometimes you won't. So you'll be, needing to hit this button to do both ketchup and mustard. So what you can do is you go ahead and do the ketchup, drop it, and do it like that. Now I have a double, so let me see if I can double serve. Okay. Also, when you come back, usually you'll have some plates in here potentially, but when you come back, look at the orders on top and see what the button should be next. And you can see that the next button is going to be a mustard. So that's cool. So it's already on mustard. That's fine. All right, another one over here. Like this, and just keep doing it just like that. Another thing that you can do also is if you have dirty plates over here and no one's kind of picking them up because they're all playing around on the right-hand side, you could also throw those plates across just right there and just keep doing what you're doing over here. Because another way, of course, of doing this is going ahead and taking one of these and dropping this across over here so that this person can go ahead and put it together for you and then do, the serving. So you can make it so no one crosses this line. Because what happens a lot of the time is that as people are crossing and getting in here, whatever, there's a lot of chaos that happens. A lot of people bumping into each other. And if you kind of make it so that no one crosses this line here and you just pass things across, things may become a little bit easier in terms of trying to get stuff back and forth. But yeah, that's what I would recommend there. And I think that's all for World 1 of the Carnival stages. Do World 2 now. And again, the nice thing about this is that it's one continuous thing. You don't have to, like, you know, go all the way back to the castle, find the next thing. I actually really like that you just, like, take the same route the whole way. That's nice. Okay, so this one is really confusing to a lot of people, and there's a strategy to take care of this, and you really need to pay attention to this one out of many of them. So, this one's very tricky when you first see it, but there's a way to go ahead and kind of systematically get through this. The person on the left, over here, is going to go ahead and fill these bowls up. Okay, so they're going to fill, I'm just going to do 2. The person on the right is going to take these and chop them up. Okay, and I'm going to actually put this over here and put this over here. When the person on the right is done, okay, if you're not good at throwing for whatever reason, you could put these things on the cart. I recommend you don't do that. You want to go ahead and kind of line yourself up, not so that it's here or not so that it's here. You want to line yourself up a little bit angled so that when you make this throw, it doesn't, it lands like, kind of like over here. It's going to land right about here. All right, so watch this. Right about here. Okay, you want to make that throw. Okay, so we're good. Another one. Again, the time hasn't started, so you can go ahead and prep as much as you want. Okay. I'll put this away. Now, after you're done cutting at least 3 for all 3 bowls that are up over there on the left side, take these baskets and put them on the cart and then send it over. Okay? This person over here is going to take the bowls, drop them, pick it up, drop them. Just like that, and then send it back. Okay? While you are waiting for that over on the right-hand side, you want to be chopping more of these. Again, because this is a solar player, I can't really chop many of them. But you're going to take these baskets here, okay, and then this one will also be filled up, so we'll assume that it's there. And then these should have already been chopped by that time, okay? Because what's going to happen then is I'm going to pretend that these were still cooking. What you would do then is you would have 3 of these chopped, and we'll just do 2. You have 3 of these chopped so that you don't actually have to throw them across. Okay, you can actually put them on the cart just like this. And what's going to happen is this person over here, their baskets are, their bowls are now empty, so they're going to be filling up their bowls again. Make sure you don't double it up. They're going to go ahead and hit the button. This, the button. And now you can go ahead and put your baskets on. And you can start chopping again. This guy's going to bring this big back. Now he's going to go ahead and take plate, here, done. Okay, again, you're going to put this down. You're going to have 3 of them ready. Put all 3 of these things back. Hit the button. Okay, this guy's going to already have put these things in here. And he's going to be washing. Hit the button again, bring this back. And then you're chopping, right? You can also, again, double serve here if you can. Just like that. And that's the general gist. You want to keep these baskets on this cart, so that you could always just, you know, the baskets should stay on the cart unless they're cooking. That's the general gist. Okay. Oop. That's fine. I'll come back from this. Another thing that's actually pretty interesting is sometimes if you drop the basket right here, you run the cart, it'll actually go on the cart for you, and you can just bring it back. Okay? So one more double serve before I get out. Nope, didn't work. All right, so that's the idea here. You want to go ahead and keep those baskets on the cart, okay? And when the cart is empty, you're going to put more of those raspberries chopped on the cart to send to them. But when you first start out, you want to do that diagonal throw to get those 3 over there. It's entirely possible for you to have like at least six chopped berries. That's probably the wrong way. On the right-hand side before the cart ever comes back. So just keep it clean over there and you'll be fine. 2-2 gets a little confusing. First thing that you'll need to know is that everything needs a burger. So definitely just continue to chop meat and have the meat being cooked. The thing that they're introducing here is the drinks machine. One of the things that you should really do with the drinks machine is just throw out like about 3 of each. So I like to go ahead and hit this. Right from the start, okay? So that's what you're going to do to start. Next thing is, this cart here is going to move back and forth. So in regular play, I would absolutely recommend just being on the top side of the chopping boards. But in this play, because it's only me, the cart's going to absolutely move by the time I'm done doing whatever I'm doing, okay? Pick that up. Okay, so the idea here is that you want to have one person on the right-hand side doing all the chopping, like literally just chopping everything. You also want to go ahead and make sure you have lots of buns ready for it to go, because you will be making lots and lots of burgers. There, this one, go here. And here goes. So when the level shakes, that's basically when you're going to get... you're going to have the cart move, so you can pay attention to that then. Probably one of these. Again, time hasn't started here yet either, so you can go ahead and prep as much as you like, and I highly recommend that you do. So you can see the things shake there. I'm going to go ahead and move to the side so I can still use the chopping board. Cook one of these, and we'll also cook a cheese. I actually really don't know if I'm going to need this cheese or not, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Here. That's what you get for playing solo. I just don't recognize what characters are playing. Alright, so I'm going to serve a couple things just to show you what kind of orders are going to come up. So there's one of these, that's good. Got a red one. Come here. Okay, so now you can see a little bit of the drink stuff that's going on here. What'll happen sometimes is, like I said, everything is going to be the burger, the meat burger, and then some things are going to have drinks with them, some things are not going to have drinks with them. So one of the things that happens in this particular stage is that the only things that will require a green drink is going to be coming with a potato, okay? So as soon as you see the potato green drink, like it's always going to be a green drink for this particular stage. If you see the yellow drink, it'll always be with cheese, okay? So that'll always happen there. What will happen sometimes is that the red drink will either come with an onion or it'll be by itself, okay? So it's actually more beneficial a lot of the times to have a couple more red drinks than anything else, because what could happen sometimes is you might even just get one of these and you'll be able to serve it right at the end, okay? That's not the case in this moment right now, but you'll see sometimes that it might be really easy to just go ahead and put one of those together because you have them available. You'll have the drinks already pre-prepared and like set down already, you know? So that would be really nice. Let's go ahead and pick one of these. Onion is also one of the things that happens most commonly here, so if you're not paying attention to the orders, which you should be, then you could, of course, potentially go for... There, back there. So I'm just going to serve these because I can. And that's the general idea. Okay, there's a lot of single orders. In this particular stage, you will never have an order that's just burger and cheese. Doesn't exist. You'll only have the two that are usually, or I should say the three. You'll have the two that are here, which are the onion and cheese. You'll have the potato and cheese, and then you'll have the cheese and the yellow drink, and that's basically the combinations. You'll have very limited combinations here. They'll be the same kind of combinations that happen often, okay? But like I said, they get much more complex later on in the level. So this one is a very good stage to like practice getting like combinations correctly, because there's a couple different variations, but it's kind of a little easier in comparison to the later stages. To kind of get on top of the different orders that are there. This brings back burritos, which there's a kind of a standard way of doing burritos. The standard way is just cooking lots of rice, putting all the rice in tortillas, and then leaving someone to handle the meats. In this particular stage, again, because... because there's this control thing here, you need someone to go ahead and hit it for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and do meats, whatever. Okay, so you should be making tons of rice. And just drop the rice right here. Don't put it on plates. Stop putting rice on plates. There's no reason to do that. Okay, the only things that should be going on plates is stuff that's cooked or ready to go, I should say, not stuff that's cooked. Things that are ready to be served, that's what goes on a plate, especially when it comes to a burrito, okay? When you have a burrito, just make these. No reason to put them on a plate. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. Come down. So what you should be, of course, doing is, in regular play, you should absolutely be cutting at least 3 on each one of the platforms. Okay? At least 3 before you come down. So let's just do what that means right now. I'm going to be cutting. I've already cut 2 chickens. This is the 3rd chicken. Oh, sorry. This is the 4th chicken. So I can stop. Okay. There for now. Also mushrooms. If you do this way, where you're basically just chopping 3 of each, then you will be ready for basically anything. Let's try to do a little serve. This one. Okay, we need a chicken next. Here we go. Take the chicken. Be careful when throwing the, what's it called? These mushrooms. Be careful when throwing the mushrooms because they could easily go off the edge. This one. Back here. Meat now. Nope. doing a bad thing right now, which is basically pre-plating stuff. But that's only because I'm almost done here. And that's it. Okay, so when you have two people, one person is going to be basically doing the rice. I should actually just basically say one person is doing all the stuff on the bottom, which is basically cooking the rice, washing the plates, and making sure things cooking. And then the person that's on top doing all the chopping, they're also going to be running. They're going to be running the food back and forth where it needs to go. That's the general gist there. And then there's going to be some point toward the end where there's no more food to be cooked because it's all done, and it's really just a matter of making sure the plates are washed. This one has a little bit of a strat. You need to kind of do some setup for first, and it's a switching the pots and the fans. Okay, so take the pot, and take the pans. The gimmick here is that these stations are going to move, just like that. Okay, so now that you've done the setup here, what you can do is from the top here, you can just throw these hot dogs right into these pots. Okay, so that's the first thing you can do. Next thing you want to do is you want to throw these buns over to the chopping board and just kind of set yourself up there and you can throw them. Okay, if these things become fiery, you can just put them over there. And the other thing you want to, of course, do is you want to throw some onions over there. I'm going to start with the onions first, just so that you can see what you can do with the onions. You start chopping these onions over here, and what you're able to do with the onions, you can just throw them right across. Like that. Imagine that you'd actually threw right inside, but that's okay. Same thing, right there. And as you can see, time's already started. When an onion is done, okay, do not put it on a plate. There's no reason for it. Put it over here on the side. And I would even recommend to move this fire extinguisher out of the way. Okay, so that's going to be your setup. All right, so let's say we're doing this first order here. Okay. So what would happen is after you chop these things over here, you throw it over on that side here. And then this guy is going to pick up these things and kind of set them up so that you have hot dogs ready to go over on this side. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be your prepping area over here. You have a whole bunch of hot dogs ready to go on this side. All right, so person's going to be serving. They can take a plate, pick up a hot dog, come over here, figure out what you need to do. I need to get an onion, so I'm going to get an onion, serve it, and then take this thing and put it back. So a lot of people don't do that. Next thing you're going to do, this one, button, serve, right? Easy, easy. Take this, here, onion, serve, put it back, okay? That's the idea, all right? Real simple, nothing going on there, right? So you're going to have that person that's going to be doing all the prepping, right? When you come over here, right, to get stuff, the first thing you're going to do is put a whole bunch of hot dogs in, okay? Then they're going to go ahead and grab a whole bunch of these, going to grab a whole bunch of these, and they're going to start chopping, okay? And they're going to be in charge to make sure that they pick up those hot dogs as they're completed, okay? So this person that's running over here isn't going to be doing this. They're going to be running back and forth with these plates, okay? So they're going to be with the plate here, they're going to be over here, they're going to hit this thing here, and they're going to potentially pass that off, but I'm just going to go ahead and wait for that because I knew it was coming, okay? After they're done setting that up, they're going to go ahead and take these plates and come back. At the end, what's going to happen is that there'll be this center thing is going to be in the way, okay? And there'll be a lot of passing back and forth. So let's assume that this is actually a finished hot dog over here, okay? As this person is, kind of preparing all these hot dogs. And again, they would have buns because you've thrown the buns over on the side. They're basically done hot dogs. So what's going to happen, 15 seconds left, you're going to be passing these hot dogs back and forth here while this guy's going to be hitting the button and finishing the hot dog, grabbing the onion here that's cooked, and then serve it, okay? So that's what's going to happen in the last 15 seconds. You're going to have that counter in the way, and you really need to be, that person that was doing all the preparing is going to be the person who's going to do the last serves. So they're going to go ahead and prepare all the last serves, make sure they hit the button in the right times, and even see if, like, look, we don't have any more onions left. Let's just serve a simple, hot dog. Do the, single ketchup, single mustard, or just a single dog if that's available, and just serve it. That'll just absolutely happen. So at the end right there, if you have a couple seconds left, just serve whatever, and you'll get those last points. This is another one that has a system to it. There's actually a task for it, which is really, really fun to watch. But again, you're just going to basically fill all these up with egg and flour, so all three. And then the person on the bottom here is going to be chopping stuff. So they're going to go ahead and be chopping. The person can also help. Okay. Time's already started, as you can tell. Now the person on top is going to grab a basket and pick this up. Just like that. Grab a basket, pick this up. And while that's done, the person on the bottom can go ahead and fill this up again. Okay, so let's assume that this person is kind of doing their thing over here. This person, just take a plate, bring this here, and drop it here. They should not go all the way the hell around and try to serve it themselves. Do not use the cannon. It is stupid. Okay, the only time you're going to use the cannon is at the end. All right. After that person drops those plates off, this person's going to go ahead and serve them. Just like this. Take a basket. Start cleaning. Okay. Now these dirty plates are going to come up. Okay. This person who's going to be preparing all the food down here has to really pay attention to the plates. There's only 3 plates, and it's very hard to double serve here. So make sure you get those plates over to this person so they can start washing. The person on top, if you're on a 4-person team, you should definitely have 1 person washing plates. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely have 1 person washing plates because it takes so long to wash plates. I'm going to do one more here. Okay, so the person on the bottom is going to do all of this work. They're going to go ahead and make sure dirty plates sit up there. They're going to be chopping this stuff here. Okay, so they're going to be chopping stuff. And they're also going to be filling those bowls up with all the things. The person on top is going to be grabbing this food, putting the basket down to cook, and washing plates. Okay, so we're just going to do the same thing here. Okay, and again, they're going to be chopping something else. I don't know, raspberry, let's say, right? We'll be chopping a raspberry. This guy's going to go ahead and grab this, bring this down, and then get ready to pick this thing back up. And those are your jobs, okay? If you have 3 people, then the third person, you could have 1 person all the way on the top, 1 person in the middle, 1 person on the bottom who just basically serves and provides the plates. And then the other thing you can have if you have 4 people is absolutely have a plate washer. Absolutely very important to have a plate washer. Let's see if I double serve. It's actually pretty hard. You have to like set it up so the plates don't end up over there. Nope. So anyway, that's the plan there. I highly recommend if you look at the tasks for that, which stands for Tool Assisted Speedrun. There's a computer that basically has a 4-player kitchen and gets 6,000 points on it. It's out of this world, which is actually really fun because the world record for players is even higher than that. It's actually 1 order higher, which is incredible. You'll notice that for this one, I don't have all 4 stars. This one is one of the hardest, in my opinion, stages. It's very, very difficult. The reason it's difficult is a couple of different reasons. Number one, it has the most different combinations of orders, I think, in the game. it's just every different combination. I can't think of any other stage that has, maybe like some of the campfire ones have it, but this one is very difficult. On top of that, the places where you cook, there are gaps that you could fall into. So let's just load this one up, and I'll show you what's going on. So right at the start, another really good example of getting all of the sodas out of the machine. So you get 3 of each. That's probably good enough to start with. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab 3 of these. My partner over here hit the button. So, like I said, these ones have the most different combinations. So you can already see that we have a chicken first, then we have a meat, then we have another chicken. When you throw these things into the cookers, okay, make sure, I know I threw it the wrong way. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to go from the guy on the top. Pick it up, okay, then hit the throw button before you even start moving the direction. So you're going to hit the throw button. I'm holding it right now. So now I can go ahead and aim it. My character won't move when I do that. Okay, so I'm going to aim it right here. Let go of throw. It'll go right in. Okay, same thing over here. Aim, throw. Okay, next thing. Make sure you have some buns over here, because you want to go ahead and pick up all the stuff that you need right here in the middle. Okay. The person on the bottom is going to go ahead and be preparing all the stuff that's like the sides. So you were talking about the potatoes, the onions, the cheese. They're going to be preparing all that stuff. The person at the top is going to be paying attention to what kind of meat is being ready to go, right? Just serve that, right? Okay, next one's going to be one of these. Okay. Now the person on top here, okay, they could be a. Oop, that's the wrong character. Oops, see, I automatically am not paying attention. Okay. This now. Okay. When you serve, another thing you can do is when you're on the top here, you can bring that down so that this person can go ahead and start washing. I also always hated that there's green and yellow drinks. They're very difficult to discern. I happen to know in this particular stage, similarly from the last stage, things that always had the cheese in a drink were, what was it called? The yellow drink. In this stage, it's green. So it's never cheese and yellow drink here. It's always going to be cheese and green drink. And in here, you could also tell there's potato and green drink and potato and yellow drink. So, like you could even see here, you even have chicken and yellow drink in here. It's like every different combination. You really need to be paying attention to the orders. So, like I mentioned, the person on the bottom just looks. So, like, let's say like we're going to be paying attention to the stuff that's going to be coming up. I'm going to definitely need a potato first. Then I'll need an onion. And then I'll need a cheese. And then I'll need another one of these, right? So that'll be my 4 things that I'm going to be preparing in order. For the guy on top, he's going to go ahead and prepare one of these, then one of these, and then one of these, and then one of these, right? And actually another one of those, right? So that's going to be their 5 orders that they're paying attention to. You're going to have to dig out a green drink from here, dig out a yellow drink from here, dig out another green drink. Where's you? It's red. That's another green, right? You got a yellow drink, right? So they're going to be like basically trying to pick up all this stuff, paying attention to the order of stuff that's there, so that the person who's running, which is probably the person on top, can just grab and start collecting stuff, boom, 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 and then go, right? That's the idea here. So that they always know, that the next thing that's done cooking is the next order. You don't want to just make anything that's like the first thing that you pick up. You don't want to do that here. You absolutely need to look at the order and see what needs to be cooked next. Because once that becomes like out of sync, you will absolutely ruin that stage. Absolutely will be ruined. And on top of that too, with those gaps that are in there, it's very, very easy to just fall into a gap and die and wait 5 seconds and, completely lose, your mojo. 3-3 is a little annoying as a stage. The strat here again, like many of these stages, is going to be switching the pots and the pans. So you're going to do that right at the beginning here. So you're going to take the pots, put them on the conveyor belt, the pans, put them on the conveyor belt. Who's first here? Okay. Next thing up, that plates should always be going to the right-hand side as a general rule. There's exceptions to this rule. Like, for example, if there's a dish that's coming up that's just plain, basically any dish that doesn't need mustard or ketchup, that could actually doesn't need to have a plate go on the conveyor belt for. Okay. The next thing is the person on the left over here is going to go ahead and throw a whole bunch of stuff, literally all the stuff. Okay, fill up the conveyor belt because the person on the right, it's their job to take stuff off the conveyor belt. A good idea is to just go ahead and stand in this corner away from the conveyor belt, and as things get highlighted, you could just pick up and throw. And just toss everything into this corner. Because there's a wall there that it won't go past that chopping block. So you just throw stuff into that bales of hay over there, and you can start cutting it. Okay? And of course, while you're cutting, you should absolutely be cooking things. There's no reason, of course, not to. But just in this particular case, we're going to be, taking it slow. So I'm going to go ahead and cook 2 things. Okay. So for this first order, I can go ahead and pick this thing up and drop it for him. The next order, what I need to do is I need to go ahead and grab this. Okay. Now I can see that the next thing after the stuff that's already done is going to be in mustard. So I want to hit that button to prepare this guy over here to ready for that stuff. Okay. You could absolutely, of course, double serve it here as well. Very common. So. Actually, let's go ahead and put the thing here. Okay, and this is what's going to have to happen here, right? You're going to have this person on the left-hand side who their job is going to be just basically washing plates, okay, and putting them on the conveyor because this person on the right is going to need them. And that's the idea. You're going to basically be paying attention for the person on the left of what orders are coming up so that you can like give the person on the right the stuff that they need. Like this next one here needs a double hit here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and this. Because now I can do is I can hit this button once. Oops. This here. Okay. Double serve. And that's the idea. The person on the right is going to be doing a lot of work. And actually, that's usually the reason why when this is on 3-player stage, what'll happen is you'll have 2 people on the right-hand side that'll be doing all the things, and 1 person on the left. So when that happens, you want 1 person that's basically on the conveyor belt over here, and you want another person the chopping block, also filling up these pots with stuff. So the person doing all the conveyor belt stuff can go ahead and prepare all the stuff to like be sent over. So like they're going to be making sure the condiment is on. They're going to be picking up the buns that are being chopped, all that stuff. And the other person will go ahead and start chopping things and making sure the pots always have hot dogs in them. Okay, it's really easy to get screwed up in there on the right-hand side. The left side is really boring, typically. As long as the person on the left side has enough ingredients on that conveyor belt and is paying attention to the button and making sure the plates are washed, that's basically it. Very simple stuff over there on the left side. All right, this should be the last one, I believe. Yep. So 3-4 is also can be really hectic if you play with people who really know what they're doing. However, with people who don't know what they're doing, it gets really frustrating for people because there's a lot of things to cook. So here, the person who's going to be second player should be filling up these bowls with stuff and immediately chopping stuff. Okay, even if this this thing is not the first thing up, they should absolutely be preparing the stuff for you. Okay. While that happens, you can go ahead and have this person fill up this bowl here. It's actually kind of rare that that I have 2 cakes already ready to go, but you know, that's fine. But the idea here is that you want to make sure that you're in a position where the person who's on this side right now never has to come back over to this side. They should have everything ready to go for as many cakes that could possibly show up. So you could even tell, I mean, granted, in this particular point right now, at this point right now, okay. So for right now, it's like I mentioned, it's very rare for you to have 2 cakes immediately, but you should have cooked and filled up as many of these bowls as possible before this guy over here has to go to the other side in either direction. Either you're going to be putting them up for the hot dogs or they're going to be washing plates. So in 2-player mode, it's really kind of difficult for this person. In 3 and more, it's going to be much easier because all they're going to do is wash plates. So get in the cannon. Toss them over. Okay, now, next thing. Make this guy over to the side. All right, hot dogs. Get the right angle, throw them in. Start chopping these. The person over here on the left that's going to be doing hot dogs is going to be doing a lot of hot dogs. Like the majority of stuff that ends up being cooked and served is going to be hot dogs. So you want to make sure you have lots and lots of hot dogs. So while that was happening, this person should have been throwing that stuff in. I'm going to lose these orders. I don't care. I'm just showing you what the setup's supposed to be for this. Okay, if there was more people playing, this is all the stuff that would be going on. Now, for onions, okay? Sometimes what'll happen is this guy's going to be running around all over the place. They're going to be just, you know, setting things up, right? I got to go ahead and set this one up over here. Right, I got to set this one up. I got to do, you know, a whole bunch of stuff over here. For a second. What's going to happen is when you're cooking onions here, instead of putting them here, which is only 3 places of counter space here, put them down here. Okay? Because the person who's washing dishes can always throw those onions in, okay, into the pans, and make it a lot easier. Oh God, I just completely lost that one. And make it easier for the person who's running around to go ahead and start, you know, doing their thing, right? So let's go ahead and put. Come here, pick this up. Go. Okay. And now we gotta go ahead and change the direction. Okay. So now all that happened. This person has to go all the way back over here, change this thing here, switch. Thing. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. So when you have more people playing in here, and actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go into practice mode. And this is a good example of showing you that you can go into practice mode so you don't have to worry about the time. It's something I probably should be using when I'm doing these tutorials. But let me just go into practice mode so I can show you all of the stuff that needs to happen there. So just, again, like I want to show you everything that's going on there without worrying about the timer. And also, hopefully, this round, you won't see all of those donuts up and ready to go. You should see a whole bunch of, what's it called? Oh, I still have another donut again. Okay, fine. Come here. Okay. So like I said, you're going to set these donuts up first because you never want to be up here over here again. Okay, you always want to have the donuts basically ready to go no matter what. Come on. really going on. It's exciting here. We're just going to go ahead and, like I said, fill this all up. Okay. You're not done because you want to go ahead and make sure you have at least one more. Okay. Oh, go back over here. Okay, so next thing. Again, we're going to be filling these guys up here. Got these guys. Just assuming the next one's going to be hot dog. Like I said, if the guy that's in the center is over here by the onions, just let him have the onion. But if he's not there when you're cooking this onion, you need to absolutely make sure that you throw those onions over to the sink. It's going to be very, very helpful for the person who's person who's trying to get these onions cooked. Okay. Yep. Nice. So throw another one over there. You want to make sure that you have at least 4 hot dogs basically ready to go, even if you have them on the ground there. Okay. Before you start moving over. Okay. So you want to have at least 4, like very much at least. Put that down here. Now you will also see the world record. What they'll do is they'll give the next order to the person over here when they send them, because they'll be sent over there. Oop, gotta get change this. Okay, because he already has an order right in his hand, right? He can go ahead and serve that right now. He serves it, right? Next thing, like I said, boom. What happened? No, I wasn't paying attention. Thought it was that one. Whatever, that's fine. Okay. So now we already served, what was it, the, oh, yeah, we already have this. So now that you served all 4 of these plates, you'll have all 4 of them here. You want to give it to this person over here. They're going to go back. Before you go back to clean these plates, if you only have 2 people, make sure you have this and this cooking, and, oop, and one of these, and one of these. Chop them up a little bit. That's fine. Turn them over. And then this person can go ahead and chop these things up while this person's washing dishes. Okay, there we go, that's one. The person who's washing dishes should be giving all 4 of those plates over before they move. Okay, so we're going to go back. Anytime they're over here, make sure you're cooking some dogs. Put 2 of these here. All these again, huh? Okay, so now these baskets are empty. Guess what? I can fill them up again because they're already cooked. They're ready to go. See this? I can fill up another one of these. Okay, that's why you want that stuff set up. You want that stuff set up so that you can what's it called? Just have it ready and go. Okay. And then you would do that rotation again. Okay. Every time that this character is over here, they should be making more hot dogs for you. Okay. They should be chopping up these buns or chopping up the onions and throwing them over to either the person who's in the center or through the sink, so that the person, when they get to the sink, can throw them and start cooking them as well. The person in the center is going to be an absolute madman, okay, or madwoman. They're going to be running all over the place to try to get all this stuff put together, in the right way, and yeah, it's really complicated until it's like, I don't know, it just makes sense. To like just have stuff prepared. Just be prepared. That's all it really is here. It's just being prepared. Okay, this goes here. Bowls should always go back here. Just like that. Over here. This goes back. Again, hot dogs. Okay. And that's it. That's really what's going to be going on here. Like I said, the person on the top left who's going to be doing the serving the hot dogs, that's the hardest job here. Because if you've already prepped all the donuts, then probably by the time that the stage ends, you probably won't need any more donuts. They'll all be ready to go over there in the top left, and the person in the top right. So the person who's at the top right in 3 or more player modes can just really stay washing dishes for practically the entire stage, because that's really the key here. You're going to have so much food cooked, as you could tell right now, that I have so much food cooked, but I don't have anything. I don't have any clean plates to even serve. So that's the hard part here, is that you have so much food. Look at this. I have 6 hot dogs and 2 donuts ready to go, but I have no plates. I have absolutely no plates. So having someone stationed at the plates in 3 or more players is absolutely critical. Doing it in 2 players is super hard. It's just so hard for the person who's doing this, because they have to do this crisscross thing that happens here, and it's just an absolute pain. Start washing here. We assume that there would be some more, onions, but there aren't. So anyway, there's a lot of food that will be cooked here, but there's not a lot of stuff like combinations, okay? Because the majority of stuff is going to be hot dogs. You'll be cooking hot dogs for all of it. It's very rare for the person who's doing the dishwashing over here to have to go back and make more donut ingredients, as long as you've set all that up in the beginning. You set up all in the beginning where you have both bowls, I should say actually both fryers, right? So these fryers here, they are completely cooked. Bowls are completely cooked as well. And then you'll have one final kind of like setup over here where it's either going to be a raspberry or chocolate, like another bowl that's ready to go over here. And you just pick it. Either raspberry or chocolate, pick one. And absolutely, if one of them is already the ones that's going to be served up here, then pick that one again. So you'll have 5 donuts basically ready to go at any time. Because, like I said, the majority of this stage is going to be hot dogs. So the person who's doing the hot dogs and the serving, that thing has the priority. Make sure you have the hot dogs cooked. Make sure you have the onions chopped and sent to the sink. And make sure you have the buns ready to go. And the person in the center is just going to be hitting this button all day to go ahead and prepare it. Okay? That's the idea. And that's it. That's all I wanted to show you for this session's tutorial. those are all the strats for the Carnival. I hope that that was enlightening or helpful, and I'll catch you for the next one. Thanks.